did it. I did a classroom tour video. Finally, I didn't have a voice. I was gonna wait till I did, but I was like, forget it. I'm just gonna do it. With some cabinets. Oh my gosh, there's a freaking fly in here and I'm gonna freak out. I would imagine if I sit here in this video with this in my hand, he will probably not return. Okay. Man, it's been a while. Hey, what's up? I'm Taylor. I'm a 4th grade teacher and I've been doing this for 5 years now. It's been a hot minute since I've made a video, and I'm pretty sure I said a while back that I was gonna do my classroom tour video next, and I meant for that to happen like immediately, and it just didn't. It was so crazy when school started. We had a trip to Colorado, taking care of our dog, trying to get set for open house. School started. It's been crazy trying to get into the rhythm of things. And just in the last couple weeks, my husband hurt his back and was down for a week. And I also have been battling seasonal allergies. It's been wrecking me. It happens every single year at this time. Living in the Midwest is crazy. Ragweed's growing in the ditches, and I have lost my voice. So I'm gonna Emma Stone this video.
I see the resemblance.
It's uncanny.
Uncanny.
It really is.
My classroom has been pretty lived in for almost a month now. I only just dusted things and I put away a few items, cleaned up a few things I've been meaning to clean up for a while, but I have not made my classroom like pristine for you. So this is gonna be a very lived in type of classroom tour. My students come back for a Monday at school tomorrow, and this is what they're gonna see when they walk in. Okay, so this is the door when you walk in. I have my yay sign up at the top, and I keep my headphones here on the door. It took me a while to figure out if that was where I wanted to keep them. I had some real issue trying to keep them on the door, but I was talking to a teammate and she was like, why don't you just put command strips back there? And so I literally have command strips right there to keep that on, and I have no problems with this flying off of the door anymore when people go in and out. So it is secure, it's not going anywhere. It's a great way to store headphones. Moving on, when students come in, they make their lunch choice in the morning. They just take their number and they put it under whether they brought their lunch and if they're gonna get a tray, and then when they leave the classroom, they'll just mark down where they need to put this. I have a place for the office, went home, another teacher, or the bathroom. I have one for the library, but I just need to get it printed and then I'll just scoot it in here in case they need to go to the library. So right now, if they need to go to the library, they just put it under another teacher. I have a file clerk as one of my classroom jobs, and they file graded papers into here. And then on Thursdays is when I send all of our notes and everything home, so I get graded papers passed out to the students. If they have anything important, it goes in the notes from home bin. And any of these labels, if they have came from another creator, I'm gonna link that below. So I'm pretty sure this is from Lindsay. I know it used to be Goff. I'll link that below. I had a succulent theme my first year and I've kind of just kept it as I went. Best pencil sharpener ever, the School Pro X-Acto pencil sharpener. I'll link that below as well. This is my student station. I talked about it in a previous video and I'm pretty sure I showed what was in here. It's evolved a little bit, but students eat breakfast in the classroom, so we've got extra silverware in here. If they finish an assignment early, namely some of their math practice, I will have students help me check their peers and be helpers. And so these lanyards are for that. If students' whiteboards get really gross, they can come and ask and borrow the whiteboard cleaner. And then stubborn like Sharpie and stuff, if we're crafting, they have access to one of these magic erasers. And then just some random things, like if they need to staple something before they turn it into me, they can do that there. This is 4th grade, and they are very independent, and I have been using this stuff this year so far. We're a month in, and in no way have my students abused any of those supplies. I have our class schedule. These schedule cards I made, I'm hoping to get them up in my TPT. They just have cute little icons. I have them for all kinds of different things. You can easily do the same thing, but if you don't want to, feel free to purchase mine when they go up. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at edwardsand.edu. This is my whiteboard area. I used to have an alphabet up here. I just put my place value cards up there. I copied another place value tool that I bought on TPT. It just didn't match the colors that I had in my room, and so I made ones that are very much like hers, so I'm not going to sell these. I just made them on Canva so that they match the color of my room. Coming back here though, I also made these little hand gesture cards. This is kind of my station. I have sticks that I can cold call students, my expo markers. This book is our current read aloud. My students voted on it. It's by the same author that wrote Wonder, and so far so good. I would say it's a little bit above 4th grade, but not too much that they can't understand. I just have to do a lot of recapping. This is where I keep like office passes and then just some random supplies that I might need while I'm teaching, and all my books and stuff that I might need with my document camera. I use my TV all the time. I do not have a smart board, so I use a TV for everything. This is my classroom library area. I get a lot of compliments on this rug. I bought it, I think, during a Memorial Day sale on Wayfair. I have tried looking up the same pattern, but I cannot find the same rug. I have my Tiff in the Middle flag, and I can link her down below too. I don't know if her shop's open, but I did get my hands on a Progress Over Perfection flag, which is something that I say to my students all of the time. I have famous first lines from another TBT seller I'll link below, and some posters from Harry Potter, because my kids are always into Harry Potter in 4th grade. I can link these library labels. I really love this library system. I think it's great. And then I've also got these little stickers that come with the labels that you can print on address labels and then cut in half. And so all my books have something that matches the icon on the label. I had to add another shelf over here so I could add some more books. This shelf here is supplies that students can use. So things like pencils, pens, scissors, erasers. And this right here, I just give them the talk at the beginning of the year, like, don't abuse the supplies that we have. It's meant for everyone. I have not had students abusing any of the supplies. Do they lose their supplies often and have to get more? Yes, but it usually turns up somewhere else. And so honestly, it's not my biggest priority as a teacher, trying to keep track of their stuff. And then I have under here is indoor recess material. So pretty much anything on these two shelves, they just have free access to. These letters, funny story, these are actually from my wedding. My last name is Edwards, and so I just kept 4 of these and made the word read. So fun fact, the kids were like, where did you get those? And I was like, Michael's, but they're actually from my wedding. So they're always like, what? And then it really blows their mind when they find out that the word read is in my last name. And I'm like, so fitting, isn't it? This pretty little Nancy Drew print is from one of my favorite artists on Etsy, KR Sexton. And I will link her Instagram below, but she shut down her Etsy shop, but I have several things from her. And we're just into a lot of the same kind of cute, quirky, creepy stuff. I wanted to support her, and so I bought this Nancy Drew one right before she closed her Etsy shop. And a lot of these fake plants are from Michael's because they always have really good sales. So pretty much all of these fake plants are from Michael's. I'm using the Rigorous Owls Chef program this year. So far, it's working okay. I'm just still trying to work out the kinks to make it work for my classroom. But a lot of my students are working on habits of a reader. And because I'm unfamiliar with this system, I didn't feel totally comfortable making everyone do it. Our school also uses AR, so I let some of them choose. But all my students I conference with about their reading because I think that that's really important. And then they can also request conferences with me. So I'm trying to be a lot more involved in their independent reading and teach them while they're doing their independent reading. Some more decor that the kids find cute. I have some of these quotes here. I made this one, but I can't sell it because this background is just for personal use, so sorry about that. But I can make something similar if somebody really wants one. And then I will link the 2 people that did these. They're actually from separate people on Etsy, but this is my lizard, Gotham, and I got her little Photoshop Renaissance painting off of Etsy. I think it's so cute. I gave it to my husband for his birthday, and when we got our dog, I was like, well, I got to do one for him too, so I just put that one up, and the kids think it's hilarious. This is where I keep all of my copies for the week, and I'll link those labels down below. I'm doing something a little bit new. I have yet to really introduce it to the kids. I don't really feel like I have to do everything at the beginning of the year. I kind of just sprinkle in some of our procedures, but this is going to be a place where they can drop in some work that they're really proud of, and then I can use the iPad and have them share it on Dojo portfolios so that their parents can see it and they can talk about their work and what they got on it, or if they want to share a piece of writing with their family. So they'll drop whatever they want to talk about in here, and then I'll give them access to the iPad to do that. easily. And this is where I put things that need to be filed. My file clerk, as a classroom job, will come through and they'll grab that and go file in the mailboxes. I've got these cute little Chromebook reminders here. I'll link below. And I have a file cabinet, but my long-term goal is to get rid of this sucker because it takes up so much space. It is nice to have something magnetic that I can put stuff on, but I've also got my Chromebook cart too. But it's just like anything that's in there is also in my Google Drive. So there's really no point to have it. I already got rid of one file cabinet from a previous teacher, so I'm still trying to work through getting rid of this one. I recently bought this little rise for my laptop, and it is saving my neck because this table is so low and I don't have a teacher desk. I just use a small group table. It's so nice whenever I sit down at my desk. It's like level with my eyes almost rather than craning my neck to see like down here. So I also got this mouse because it just kind of saves my fingers, and this is just kind of like my little area, and you can raise and lower this. I can put it up higher if I want to, and I'll link that below. And I always have a place to hang up my stuff because otherwise I would just lose my keys every day, so I always hang my keys up on that mirror. And this is kind of my area. I've got my textbooks, just random things. I turned that picture around because I had students, same with these here. But how cute is this? I've never gotten this before, but at the beginning of the year, one of my students brought this, and her mom actually made a little cross stitch of me, which I think is so cute and so unique. I got this little hanger off of Amazon. I'll link that up below. This is my little area for math study, and this is really great for when I pull small groups back to my table. I have a little whiteboard that I can write on, whether it's for math or whatever, and just some reference charts. My Keurig that I actually have yet to use this year, really. Maybe 1 cup of coffee. And then I just got this little organizer here. I actually don't know if these are still popular anymore, but I literally use my teacher toolbox still all the time. Again, these labels are from Lindsay Goff. I'll link them below, but I've had this since my first year of teaching, and I'm still rocking it like hardcore. Like I use it all the time. This little paper clip one probably gets the most workout, but it's great. And I just have like general things that I might need, counseling referral forms, lunch bunch invitations. These are also in my TPT store. It needs to focus for the love. There we go. I talked about them in a previous video, but every Thursday I have a lunch bunch with my students, and I put those on their desks in the morning, so the kids are always wondering, like, whose turn is it for lunch bunch? And then it's kind of a surprise in the morning on Thursdays. And I also used Joanne Miller's posters this year. My students made posters for our classroom that have, like, inspirational quotes, and they made a picture to go with them, and so I decorated up above my bulletin boards with those this year. Makes the room feel a lot busier, but I love having student work up on the wall. Then I have these bulletin boards here. Just ignore that area, please. It's just a stack of all of the supplies that we need for a science project. This is kind of an extra place that students can sit or work because I let my students move around the classroom all of the time. So this shelf is my shelf. Students know that they're not supposed to touch anything on it without my permission, but it's got things like supplies that really I'm supposed to take care of, like binder clips and Post-its and adhesives, rubber bands, like things that they don't really need. And then other math manipulatives and math games. These 4 boxes here are science materials, and it's just kind of organized in a way that I can remember. But this is craft supplies. This one here is a lot of mentor texts. These are my water bottle stickers. I have pulled this off the shelf several times because students want to spend their tickets on them. These are fidgets, noise-canceling headphones, caddies if I need them, empty buckets. I always recommend having empty buckets around. I use them so often for so many different things. This is kind of like office supplies. Honestly, it's like empty. Isn't that crazy? What kind of teacher has empty cabinets? But my laminator, my paper cutter, and then some extra office supplies, extra pencil sharpener in case one breaks. This is kind of a hot mess, but it's okay. It's okay. It was very clean, and then students brought all their supplies to school, and this is what it's looking like right now. So I've got extra folders. I have some journals and post-it paper, these dry erase envelopes that you can put different papers in, and then some extra notepads, extra whiteboard erasers if my students need them, and then all the different kinds of paper, just regular notebook paper, graph paper, ready space paper for students who have handwriting concerns. I have my basketball goal, which I use all the time to play. We used to call it trash-get-ball, but now I hilariously call it math-get-ball. Can't say without smiling. Trash-get-ball is something that I picked up from Procophola Primary, and then I got an actual basketball hoop, so now we just use that for different review games. This is my teacher hoarder cabinet of Kleenexes and Ziploc bags. This is kind of a random cabinet. My VIP caddy for anyone that wants to buy it with their tickets. It's got lots of different goodies in here. I'll just show you while I have it out. But there is glitter glue, some different colored expo markers, these funny little Spider-Man erasers. And then I've got like twistable crayons and flare pens and just some fun stuff in there, post-it notes, some extra snacks, my candy bucket that holds my mints. I always give kids a mint before every single test that we take, excluding spelling tests because those are every single week. And then just some different like food supplies. Like this is kind of my stash. There's some extra like granola bars, cough drops, dry shampoo, lotion, Tylenol, floss, toothbrush, toothpaste, chapstick, Tide to Go. That's kind of like my emergency stash there. So again, students are not allowed in these cabinets unless they have special permission to get something. And the final cabinet I have just has like some cleaning supplies and the current set of Ziploc bags on my Lanta that we're using. Some Band-Aids, mints, extra pencils to refill our pencil cup, Clorox wipes, and so on. So we do have a cute little sink in our room. That is a real plant. It's called a ZZ plant. I had never heard of it, but I ordered it on Amazon, and it basically is indestructible and needs nothing to survive. But I do have a botanist for a classroom job, and the botanist is in charge of taking care of that plant. So hopefully it doesn't get like root rot or something from him watering it all the time. Under the sink is a bunch of cleaning supplies. I have extra paper towels, paint from when I painted my walls. Wow, my voice is breaking. Extra Walmart sacks in case somebody needs them. Towels, rags, I always recommend having them in your classroom somewhere because if something spills, even if it's just a water bottle, you always want to get it cleaned up right away because you never have a moment to waste, and you don't necessarily want to wait until the custodian comes, no matter how helpful they are. And then I just have some random tools, like things to air up basketballs, other playground equipment, a tape measure, screwdrivers, and some other really specific cleaning supplies. I hang up my little broom. The students use that all the time if we have spills. And then on this one is where I keep the fly swatter, but as you saw earlier, I needed to use that. This year, I also moved over my little anchor chart clips. I've got like my keyboard shortcuts, an anchor chart that we made together about qualities of great teachers and qualities of great students, a morning routine reminder of our procedure since it's the beginning of the year, and then just a reminder of what TAPS is. I don't know who all is familiar with TAPS, but it is another part of the BIST model, and BIST stands for Behavior Intervention Support Team. So we have like a consultant and everything who comes to our school who helps us with kind of some restorative practices, which is really great. So up on top of the cabinets, I just have things like desk dividers, some extra supplies, and classroom transformation stuff, decorations. I do like how these anchor charts kind of cover up some of it. That is pretty much the whole gamut of my classroom. So you might have seen that all of my students' desks were in pairs right now, and they're all facing the front. I don't normally do that kind of desk setup. I just recently changed it. They were in like groups of 4. I really like that too. I like the cooperative desk setting, especially when it comes to using like Kagan structures and things like that. But at this point in the year, we are collaborating a lot. I just want to see, like I want to know as much as possible so that we can get into the nitty-gritty. I actually took a sick day the other day whenever I lost my voice. I wasn't feeling well, and I sat at home and I read this entire book. Our district purchased this book for everyone, and it's been really great, especially when it comes to making like school-wide improvement plans and stuff like that. This is by Doug Lemov, and it's Teach Like a Champion 2.0. It has 62 techniques that just help you and help students, and one of the techniques that I decided to use that applies to this desk conversation is his technique called standardize the field, or standardize the visual field. For example, if you were a coach and you were trying to observe your team and you want to observe maybe the way they kick a ball if it's like soccer practice, or the way they throw a ball if it's like softball practice, you want them in lines. There's just so much more room for comparison because everyone's doing the same thing and they're all in the same line. So it's easy to see outliers. It's easy to see who might need help with their technique. And so applying that to the classroom, when I have students in pairs or when they're all kind of facing the same way, I have standardized the visual field. When I am, especially when I'm at the back of the classroom, say they're using Chromebooks, I can easily see where everyone's at on their Chromebook. I can easily like walk through and making sure that they're where they need to be. That is kind of helpful right now, especially at the beginning of the year when I'm trying to discern where students are and what they might need help with. I'm getting to know them as people and as learners. That's why I have the desks like they are right now. Are they going to stay that way? Absolutely not. I love having that cooperative setting, but at the beginning of the year, I do think it's important. And they're still in pairs, so they do have like a turn and talk partner. And we do a lot of group work, and they get to move about the classroom all the time anyways. But I did have one more thing I wanted to show you. This is a paper sorter, and it is bahhhhackkkk. So all of my students have a number in the classroom. So if this is student number 9, he lifts up the 9 tab and he sticks his paper in there. Student number 1 gets done at a different time. He comes to stick his paper into the number 1 slot. Student number 13 finishes, they put it under 13. And eventually all of these fill up, and all I have to do is come through and just take my fingers like this. And guess what? They're all in order. It makes it so simple for grading. It makes it so simple for inputting grades and for passing things back, especially when I have my mailboxes that are already labeled by number. My file clerk really appreciates this system too, because usually they're all in order too, because I graded them in order and now they're filing them in order. It's so great. I will link that down below, but I just keep it right there, and that's where my students turn in their work. I will probably end up doing a classroom job video soon. My students apply for their job every single month. Every single student has a job. I can fly. Okay. Oh, I got him. That was so gross. I am so sorry. So I think that's it. I did it, guys. I did it. I did a classroom tour video. It's tiny, but it's cute and it's homey and everything has a purpose. So I like it, I suppose. I don't have a super coherent theme. It's not Instagram ready, but that rug helps a lot. So peace out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Also, if you were interested in that new-ish intro video that was done by my friend Jaren, you should check him out. I'll link his Instagram below. He makes like the cutest little things. I mentioned him last video, but really, like, he needs your support. It'd be so great if you checked him out and gave him a follow. And remember, I will link anything that you saw in this video, or try to, down below. If I missed anything, please leave me a comment and I'll get that link to you as soon as possible. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned, and I'll catch you in the next video. Is there any water in here? Nope.